record करेल. Till now 41 students have joined this lecture. You will have to do one thing. You will have to comment your roll number in the chat box so that I will get your roll number and I will mark your attendance in the of this session. Yesterday yesterday was our first lecture. Okay, so in that lecture we discussed about the syllabus. We for this course totally have 5 units. We will try to complete maximum of them, but if, if that couldn't be possible, then we will try to complete maximum of that units. Okay, so just you have to attend this lecture and just you have to pay attention whatever I am teaching to you. Okay.
हॅलो सर.
Yes.
सर वेटिंग रूम मध्ये स्टुडंट्स आहेत.
हाँ हाँ ऍडमिट केअर करतोय केलंय त्यांनी. हा माझं बोलण्याच्या नादात तिकडे विसरलो. All of you just put your roll number in the chat box so that I will mark your attendance of this session. And when we disconnect at the after 40 minutes, we will again join this lecture. And after also you have to comment your roll number in the second session, and in the third session also you have to do the same procedure. You have to repeat the same procedure. You have to comment your roll number at the starting of meeting itself. Okay, so 44 students have joined this lecture. So I will now share my screen so that you will able to read the presentation whatever I am sharing to you. Okay. Okay, is this screen visible to all of you? The presentation दिसते का तुम्हाला?
Yes sir.
Okay. So this is the lecture series that we are conducting on basic English grammar, as well as we will try to explain various things regarding speaking English. Okay, so in the last lecture we have seen that what is language. Okay, so language is a medium by which, or primary source which is used for the communication purpose. Okay, so there are thousands of language all over the world, and these are spoken. Some of them are spoken by millions, and others have limited population, or others are the less speaker, or few of others. Few of others have that their language which is spoken by few people. Okay, so that is why this window, share. So this is yes. So this is the importance of language. Mm, Wait for a minute. So language is the primary source of communication. It is the medium by which we share our thoughts, we share our feelings. आवाज व्यवस्थित येतो का माझा? हॅलो.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Some of you have messaged that my voice is not reaching them. Okay. So we were discussing about the importance of English language. Okay. So what is the language? It is the medium or primary source of communication that we use to speak to someone, speak to the people we want to share our ideas or thoughts with them. Okay, so that is why it is necessary to learn a language. Some of the people or some of the languages uh, are spoken by millions of people, but others have few thousands. Okay, others are the only in a few thousand. Okay, then the next is why do we learn English? Okay, so yes, why do we learn English? Because English is the language which is spoken by all over the world. Okay, it is a global language. We learn it to be in a competent in this world, in this competitive world. We have to in this competitive world we have to be competitive in this world. That is why we have to learn that language. Okay, so this is one reason English is official language, because many administrative works nowadays are uh, they uh, they are working in a language by using English language they work with. There are many MNCs, multinational companies, many IT companies, IT parks that uh, have their employees which are very good at their English. That is why we learn English. Okay, so currently English is a primary language not only of countries actively touched by English people. So currently English is the primary language of not only countries actively touched by British impression, but also many business and cultural spheres dominated by those countries. Okay, so it is also a language of Hollywood. Okay, we have seen that many of the Hollywood movies are dubbed in the language, and they use their uh, English language to dub them. Okay, so it is also the international language used in international banking and businesses. Okay, so this is that is why we learn English. It is also a language of globalization. We see that many of our applications that we use in mobile, they are also using English language. They are having the language which is English. Okay, and many of the instructions we get uh, from them or that apps, they are giving their instructions in the English. Okay, so that is why globalization has covered all the aspects of life. Because of globalization and language, English language, we came close to each other. Okay, so globalization, what are its fruits? The It has fruits such as we came close to each other. We can talk to each other. We can speak with each other. We can teleconference with each other. So these are the fruits of globalization, and that is why uh, they are. Uh, some of you are joining till now. So total 46 have joined this lecture. Okay. So globalization covers all the aspects of life. Deep understanding is very important in every field. Okay. So without proper communication, is it possible to be in connection with that people, or is it possible to connect with the world? It is not possible. And because of English language and because of communication, proper communication in English language, we get connected with the world. Okay, so this is the reason why we learn English. And next is, therefore it is important to know how English language will unite people. So English language has united people from all over across the world. Okay, and that is why it is a universally accepted language. And the reasons to learn English are, it is essential for work. Yes, we when we go to seek a job. Okay, when we want to do a job, we want to inquire about the job. The first and very primary or very first and important requirement is we should have some knowledge of English. Not 100% knowledge. I can't say that, or I won't say that. We should be very very good. We should be very excellent in English language or speaking, but we should know this language for the working purpose. Okay, so that is why it is essential for work. If you go to the IT companies, or if you want to seek job uh, in the IT companies or industrial companies, then you should have a knowledge of this language. Okay, so the boss or the people uh, in that company, they should be very not very, but they should be fluent in the English language, speaking as well as uh, listening or understanding of this language. Okay, So that is why it is essential for work. It is also the universal language as it is accepted by all over the world. That is why we call this language as a universal language. The next is it will open the door of new cultures. Okay, so this is the language uh, that connects us with the different cultures in this world. Okay, so each country has its different culture. As we are in the East Asia, Southeast Asia, or South Asia, we are in we come in the South Asia. uh, we have the Eastern culture. Okay, and the countries like Britain, America, they came to the west of this earth. That is why they come in the uh, western culture. They are having western culture. Okay, and to it is very that is why English has become the most important language uh, to communicate with each other, to know the cultures of each other. Okay, so there is a difference between East culture and West culture. We come in the East culture, East world. We have East culture and they have the Western culture. Okay, so Western culture is different from Eastern culture. Okay, uh, they have advanced themselves and they have came out of their uh, different traditions. Okay, so they don't follow that traditions, but we Eastern people have some traditions. We Indian peoples also have some traditions, cultures, and that is why uh, it is important. And it is it English language is the uh, window to the world. Okay, so it is the window to the world. Okay, then next is you will travel comfortably. Okay, with this language, if you are uh, knowledge, you have the knowledge of this language, you can travel to all over the world without any disturbance. Okay, because it is the global language and each of the person know that English is an important language for communication purpose. Okay, the next is it is the most open language. Okay, so this language is the most open. Why is it called as open? It is called as open because it has many words which are added from different languages which came from all over the world. Okay, so the languages which come from all over the world, they have added some words in their English language. Okay, from different languages. If you take an example, we have Indian Hindi words such as roti or uh, roti, chapati. So these are the words which are taken from our Indian language, Hindi language. Uh, and also one of the word they have added letters, that is jugad. Jugad is also Hindi word, but it is added in the English language. Okay, so that is why it is the most open language. We can learn it at any corner of this world. Okay, so we can find its material at every corner of this world. Okay, so it is also the language of art and literature. Many of the writers and artists perform there or perform by uh, in the medium of this English language. Okay, they express themselves in the English. Okay, many of the writers, poets, artists use this language, and that is why it is the language of art and literature. Speaking about literature, we know that literature is very vast. But be- though literature is very vast, it is because of this English language. English language has made this uh, efforts to uh, reach at the every person, and that is why writers of the English language or other language also translate their languages, translate their works in this language to reach to the each person in this world. That is why it is the art of language of art and literature. The next reason is it eliminates language weaknesses. It also eliminates language weaknesses. If we are weak uh, in other language, such as if take for example, we are Marathi people, we are Maharashtrian people. Many of us know this Marathi language very well. But if we want to travel to the southern countries, or if we want to travel to the northern countries, then if we don't know their language, we should or we have to use English language. Okay, it is necessary. That is why it eliminates the language weaknesses. So these are the reasons to learn English language. The next is the yes, power of the English language. What is its power? Okay, why it is powerful language? Because people know the importance of it, and that is why they uh, this language is taught as a basic language in every state. Okay, so this is the language which is taught in each and every state of India. Okay, and that is why it has its own importance. The next is speaking internationally. It would be really difficult to prosper in this world without knowing English. Okay, so if we want to prosper or we want to survive in this world, then it is very difficult without this language. Okay, so uh, if we want to do progress, if we want to reach, or if we want to do, if we want to become famous, then uh, we should have a knowledge of this English language. And internationally speaking, it would be really difficult to survive in this world without knowing English. If we are weak uh, in this language, if we don't understand this language, then it is necessary to start some study about it. Okay, so this is the power of English language. The next is when it comes to globalization, the first language that comes in our mind is English. So, speaking about globalization, as globalization has reached all over the world, it is because of globalization that we came close to each other. We can connect, we remain connect with each other at every second of life. This is because globalization. And which language has made it easy? It is the English language, which has made it easy to be connected at every second with each other. Okay, so that is why it is necessary. Then next is to create a world of ethically responsible, equitable, and tolerant. The English language plays a key role. If we want to be ethically, morally responsible, okay, if you want to be a morally or ethically responsible, equitable, or tolerant. Tolerant means what? Sahanshil. Equitable means what? Samanta. थोडक्यात. The English language plays a key role. So it is the English language which has played this key role to to be ethically responsible, equitable, and tolerant person. The next is you can get from each field event in business communication with customers and other delegates. It is very important to exchange and share our thoughts and innovations. Thus, business grows. So, uh, let this point be understood. In this point, they have told that if we want to grow our business, if we want to exchange or share our thoughts, if we want to do innovations, if we want to make uh, connection or communication with our customers, then it is first requirement that we should learn or we should know the English language. Okay, this is the this is about the power of English language. So it is almost yes, within 10 minutes, after 10 minutes we will be disconnected. You have to connect once again. Okay, so after 9 minutes I will make you all once again admit to this meeting. Okay, so moving towards next slide. English is the international common tongue. Okay, so it is international common tongue. Why it is so, or why it is told as so? Because there are several factors that make the English language essential to communicate in our current time. Yes, someone is speaking. Yes, so English is the international common term. Why is it so? Because there are several factors that make the English language essential to communicate in our current time. तिथं असे भरपूर काही उदाहरणं आपल्याला देता येतील की इंग्लिश लँग्वेजचा यूज आपण खूप महत्वाचा ठरतो. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, इट इज द मोस्ट कॉमन फॉरेन टर्म. येस, इट इज द मोस्ट कॉमन फॉरेन टर्म. Can we or do we know that English is the most common foreign tongue, and other languages such as French or Spanish or Chinese or other languages are not that much common? Because England or Britishers, what they did, they invaded us. They ruled us for more than 150 years. Okay, so that is why. But they do one thing. They did one thing, one important thing, that they left their language and uh, their infrastructure. They couldn't uh, move this infrastructure to their countries. Okay, that is why they have it is very means it is very beneficial that they have left their language and culture also here in India. Okay, so first of all, it is most common foreign tongue. This means that two people who came from different countries, uh, example Mexico and Sweden. Okay, so if they meet or they come from different countries, they will usually use English as a common tongue or common language to communicate. Okay, that is why it is called as lingua franca, means connection language. So English is also called as a connection language or lingua franca. The next is, that's why everyone needs to learn the English in order to interact at international level. To interact at the level international level, to be interactive in at the international level, we should know some English language, or we should uh, understand language. Okay. The next is speaking it will help you communicate with people from countries all over the world, not just English speaking ones. So if you are good at your English English language, then you can communicate in English all over the world. Okay. So that is why it is the lingua franca or connection language or common term. Okay. So next is why we learn English, because it is also the language of education. You know that from your childhood itself you are learning this language. Okay. So if you were when you were in the KG, from KG itself you are learning this language, but uh, from our childhood, though we are learning this language, why we can't be that much effective, or why we can't be fluent such as Britishers or that English people? Because English is their mother tongue, but English is not our mother tongue. Okay. So English is our second language, it is not a mother tongue. Our mother tongue, we can speak it very well, we can use it at any time, at any place very well, but we can't use this foreign language that much effectively while speaking. Okay. So it is uh, the reason that makes us little but weak in this language. So it is a language of education. Okay. So English is also essential to the field of education. In many countries, children are taught and encouraged to learn English as a second language. Okay. Many of the countries there are in the world, in which in India also, uh, we are taught to learn this language. Okay. We are taught this language at our primary education itself, from our primary education itself. So but it is not our mother tongue, and it is our second language. Almost 90% of educational subjects are written in English. Okay. So you know that your syllabus or your curriculum is also written in English language. uh, your medium of writing paper, or your medium of learning is also English. Okay. And that is why almost 90%, more than 90% of educational syllabus have their medium English. Okay. And the next is, even in countries where it is not an official language, such as Netherlands and Sweden, we will find many of the syllabi in science and engineering written in English. Okay. So many of the countries are like Sweden and Netherlands. They don't have their official language English. Okay. But they have many syllabi is the plural of syllabus. Okay. So they have many of their syllabi in science and engineering. Yes, science means what? General science also, and medical science. Okay. So science and engineering, which are written in English. So syllabus, they have uh, kept the language of English as a language of medium. Okay. The next is, because it is the dominant language in science, most of the research and studies you can find in any given scientific field will be written in it as well. So most of the studies, most of the articles regarding scientific research, science research, basic science research, medical science, biological science. So these have their research or their research studies which are in the English language. The next is at the university level, students in many countries study almost all their subjects in English in order to make the material more accessible to the international students. Okay, so you can find that many of the universities at the university level, they have made their material or they have translated their subject material in the English language. Okay, English medium. Okay, that is why we can access this material more easily. If this material would have been in any other language, that wouldn't be that much accessible to all of us. Okay, that is why English has made this